Good morning, everyone. How are we all doing today? The sun is out. It's a beautiful day. I want to go out. I want to go to my local coffee shop, have a really nice cup of coffee and some of their incredible French pastries. But with everything going on right now, we still can't do that. So, the coffee I can do myself. I'm not worried about that. But those French pastries, there's something about the puffy, puffy, flaky crusts, that gorgeous whipped cream, and always whatever fresh fruits they can find. One of my favorite things when I go there, actually, I have two favorite things. And they're kind of similar, but they don't always make them both, or they make one and not the other. Is a strawberry milfait. And I'm sure you've seen the normal ones or the chocolate ones, and it's the thin layers of flaky crust with cream or custard, and then it has that white top with little chocolate swirls in it. They do one that's a strawberry one, and it is so good. And the other thing they do is what they call a strawberry square. And again, it is a flaky puff pastry. It's so buttery and gorgeous. And it's lightly sweetened. Then they put some fresh whipped cream. And when I say it's fresh, they don't have them all just sitting in a counter waiting for you to order one and take one out. They actually fill it fresh in front of you. And it is so good. And that is what we're going to do today. It is so simple and so easy, and it doesn't take much. But we can recreate those incredible French desserts, those French pastries at home. And honestly, a hell of a lot cheaper. And we can fill it how we want to do it. So, with all that being said, let's get into the kitchen, let's get a few things ready, and let's start cooking. We'll see you all there soon. Hello and welcome back, everyone. We made it into the kitchen. I've already done some of this prep just because you really don't need to see me slice up some strawberries or beat an egg or anything like that. The whipped cream is already whipped. It's in the fridge. Little trick when doing whipped cream, if you want it sweetened and you want it to hold, not to run as quickly as, say, a normal whipped cream would. Great trick, like I say, if you're going to sweeten it, is to use icing sugar instead of regular sugar. The cornstarch that's in the icing sugar will just help it keep together that little bit longer. Other than that, like I say, I have a beaten egg here. Just have a little bit of white granulated sugar. And of course, we have our pastry. Now, when making French pastries, they're almost always done with just a standard puff pastry. But what we do to the pastry helps sort of decide how it's going to come out. So I've got a fairly large piece here. Now, when you buy your puff pastry, it'll always have cooking instructions on it, and for this, that's what we're going to follow. Some say cook at 425, some say cook at 450. It depends on how they've made it. Now, this one I know I cook at about 425 for about 15 to 25 minutes. It really depends. What I am going to do, though, is just get my knife. And how this one comes, you can see it's folded into 4 sections. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut down those 4 sections. This is going to give me 4 fairly even-sized pieces. But what we're going to do to those after, and like I said, I've just put a little piece of parchment down It'll make it easier at the end to get them off. And it's just a lot easier to clean the dishes, because I hate doing dishes, as you know. So, as you see, all I've done here is we've cut into 4 strips. Now, these 2 strips, to make our strawberry puff, we're just going to cut those roughly into quarters. But I am going to cut 2 strips at a time, because this way I know these 2 are the same size. Those 2 are the same size. And you know what? We're going to leave the other one as it is. So what I have here, I know it's really hard to see, but we have, whoops, losing my paper. Let's try it this way. There we go. So what you see is we have 6 squares now. Simple, easy. I haven't done anything hard, have I? That's it. We aren't going to do anything else. Now, I did forget something. Yes, it wouldn't be a video of mine if I didn't forget something. The other 2 strips, we're just going to take a fork and we're going to do what's known as docking. And that just means we are going to punch a whole bunch of holes in this. And what this is going to do is stop the puff from puffing as much. You can have some fun with this. Pretend it's an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend. Anything. Your boss. There we go. I'm just making sure. There we go. That they're well perforated. And you can see now, again, hopefully, because you can see that it is all nice and perfect. Now, I'm going to just do some real simple painting. I have an egg wash here. An egg wash is just 1 egg with about a tablespoon of water. I use my pastry brush. And we're going to give each one a little painting. This is going to help it brown. And it's also going to hold on to the sugar. Because what we're going to do is basically we're sweetening this pastry. And you've seen me use this pastry before. I've used it on some of the pies. And you don't want to soak it. You don't want to soak it. It's just a light coating. It's more just to help it brown. But you want to make sure it's all covered at least. There we are. Now when working with puff pastry, you want to keep it cold as possible. So the tray I was using, I had in the freezer first before I brought it out. And we're working a little bit quick. So everything now is coated. And on our squares, we're going to take our granulated sugar. Just sprinkling it on. We have salt bays. Oh, now we have a sugar bay. If you want, you can put it on the other strips, the ones that we poked. I'm just going to do one of them. And there we are. So that's going to give a little sweetness, a little texture, a little crisp. And this now goes into, like I said, in my case, a 425-degree oven for about 25 minutes. I am, though, going to start checking it at 15 minutes because we want this light and golden brown. We don't want it dark and smoky and smoldering. So, we're going to take another quick pause. We're going to wait for that to bake. When it bakes, I am going to let it cool down for about half an hour. So, we will see you all back here in about an hour then. Till then. Hello, everyone. Well, it was 15 minutes, so I'm glad I checked. Just want to show you, that's what you're looking for. Here we have our puffs. Here we have the flattened sheets. So, they did puff up a little bit more than I expected, but not as much as the others. I could have actually pricked these more, but it's good enough. So for right now, we're just going to let these cool completely, because if we go and put whipped cream on them, they're going to fall up. It's just going to melt right away. So these are going to take about 15 minutes or so, and just to cool down, like I say. Once that's done, and I've taken them off the cookie tray. That's why I have just the parchment here. Because if you leave it on the tray, they're going to get all soggy on the bottom. And no one likes soggy bottoms. But you can just see how beautiful and golden brown that is. So these, excuse me, are the foundations to our French pastries. We haven't done anything hard so far at all, I don't think. So, let's let these cool, and then we'll come back, we'll assemble, and of course, we'll eat. Hello, everyone. Well, the pastry is all cooled. We have everything nearby. So what do you say? Let's make some gorgeous French pastries. As you saw, these are just the little puffs. These are the ones we didn't prick, so they've puffed up nicely. And it is very, very simple. And this is what kills me, because when I bought the pastry, I got 2 of those big sheets for about $3. The strawberries were on special. The whipped cream was a couple of bucks. And it makes so much. Yet when you go and you buy just one of these things, they charge you $6. I know you're paying for presentation and the time and the labor, but wow. So I have here my beaten whipped cream. Just trying to maneuver here. And I have the plate. I'm trying to find one that lies a little bit flatter. There we go. And if you want, you can just give it a little push in the middle. And we put a nice little spoon of our thickened whipped cream. Now, if you want, there's nothing stopping you from adding a little bit of cocoa to the whipped cream and making a chocolate whipped cream, almost like a mousse, or adding any other flavors. So as you see, all I'm doing here is laying on some of the nice fresh strawberries that we sliced up earlier. You don't have to be really pretty with this because it's all going to get covered with a top soon. But you want to make sure that pretty well every bite is going to have some nice strawberries. Well, you don't want to push down too hard, of course, because you're just going to squirt it all out the other side. Your top just goes on. Another little dollop that whipped cream. And here's where you can be as creative as you want. Put a little mint sprig, anything. I'm just going for strawberry there. And, whoops, that can stay there. It's a bonus strawberry. And some strawberries surrounding it. There we are. We have a beautiful strawberry square, as they're called. I am just going to do my little bit. I'm just going to put some grated chocolate, just because chocolate and strawberries is just so nice. And then the slightest dusting of cocoa. And there we go. We have our strawberry square. Simple, easy, so delicious. The next one, I only brought one plate. Like I say, wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't forget something. I'm going to put that plate down there for a sec. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of the strips we did. So as you see, this is quite a bit thinner than what we didn't prick, but it's still a little bit on the thicker side. You just use a little serrated knife. And try and cut it as equal as possible. A little bit better than I did, because I got two nice and equal and then a short. But oh well. And you'll see this is very much like the last one. It's just, this is a triple decker. So again, some whipped cream. And here we're just going to put on a little bit thinner layer because it is a lot bigger. Our strawberries. What I like to do is just a little dollop of the whipped cream. Get that out of the way. Where's my cloth go? Get some of that nice little chocolatey goodness in there. The reason for the whipped cream is just to help hold that in place. Again, thin layer of the whipped cream. If you're feeling adventurous, you can make this as tall, as big as you want. You can make a really big one and then try and cut it when you serve. But from experience, that is harder than it sounds. The strawberries are slippery. Here is a little hint. When you buy strawberries, you'll notice they're not kept in the coldest part of the fridge, if they're in the fridge at all. When you put strawberries in the fridge, what happens is all the sugars that make those strawberries so sweet start to degrade. And your nice, sweet strawberries start tasting a lot less flavorful. This layer, I'm just going to go for some cocoa. And then we top it off once more. Some nice, fresh whipped cream. Go for Just a single berry and a single leaf. Get some more of that grated chocolate on there, and cocoa because, well, I have it. And there we are. We have our strawberry milfait. Again, super simple, quick. Do this at a dinner party. You'll blow all your guests' minds. So simple, so easy, cheap. And compared to the bakery or the pastry shop, this is about $6.95 if you're lucky. And this cost maybe 50 cents to make. Now those two are great, don't get me wrong. I love them. This is kind of a little trick or a little cheat sometimes that I do, because these are a little bit hard to eat. It's not something you pick up with your hand, that's for sure. So what I like to do sometimes, this is good when I'm going out and I want to grab something really quick. Got our whipped cream in the middle. Whoop. Whipped cream's nice. It's not too sweet. Really light. So we have our whipped cream, our strawberries. Put a top on it. And now you have a handheld puff you can easily eat when you're going out. Or in this case, when you're trying something on camera. Whoop. So good. Needs one little thing. Well, for me it does. Needs that chocolate. Listen, strawberries and chocolate for me, one of my favorite things in the world. That you can see how flaky that pastry is. It just dissolves as soon as it hits your mouth. And these little crispy shards. It's super rich, buttery taste. And there you go. Great little snack. Beautiful fancy desserts for when you have company over. I have flaky pastry crumbs all over me. And there you go. If you don't want to do with strawberries, do with blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, peaches. Oh, I wish they were in season. I would have done this with peaches. You have so many options. Do it tropical. Add a touch of coconut milk or coconut extract to your whipped cream. And do this with some fresh pineapple. And just really, really finely chop the pineapple because it's just easier to eat that way. But there we go. So good. Whoop, so simple. So messy. But an absolute treat. Sorry. The problem with all this is it gathers all the whipped cream and the crumbs. So, there we go. I hope you enjoyed this quick little video showing you a couple of French pastries. They're so simple to make that anyone can do them. And with times like this where I can't get to my pastry shop, at least I can make them myself. So, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. We do videos like this, we do dinners, we do all kinds of stuff, we do food tastings. And occasionally we even do a game night. If you're coming back to the channel, well, thank you. Don't forget to hit that like button, give this video a big thumbs up, leave me a comment. What fruits would you try this with? Oh, here's an idea. Instead of the whipped cream, try it with Nutella. Might as well go all out. And as always, don't forget, I have partnered with Buy Me a Coffee. If you would just like to help a little bit with the creation of these videos, the link is in the description down below. It's super quick and easy, and it's just your little way of saying thank you for the videos. So until next time, my name is Andrew. I am the 5 p.m. chef. Thank you for stopping by my kitchen, even though I'm covered in crumbs. And we will see you all again next time. Bye.